Hello, I'm Joanne Matteo from Pyramid Educational Consultants, and I'm happy to be here today to tell you a little bit about our company, what we do, and how we can help. This recording is part of the Autism Awareness Conference that is being presented by the Herkimer BOCES in partnership with the Kelberman Center. I'm very excited about this because I actually consult to the Kelberman Center, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that as I move on in my quick little presentation. I am a speech language pathologist by training and a senior consultant at Pyramid Educational Consultants. You probably know us as the home of the Picture Exchange Communication System, PECS. We are the company that developed PECS and as well as the pyramid approach to education. But we do a lot more than that. So I'm really happy to take a little time today to tell you about Pyramid Educational Consultants. Pyramid Educational Consultants was established in 1982 by Dr. Andy Bondi and Lori Frost. Andy is a clinical psychologist, behavior analyst, and Lori is a speech pathologist. Together, they developed the system of PECS, the Picture Exchange Communication System, and the company. We now have offices in over 15 different countries around the globe. That's very exciting because there are people with special needs that need an effective functional expressive communication system, and PECS has been very effective for all of them as well. Just a little statistic here that we're really proud of. In 2019 alone, we trained almost 29,000 people around the world in PECS, and our learners received almost, over 27,000 PECS communication books. So it's really nice that they have the opportunity to communicate via the picture exchange communication system and have a place to house the pictures as well. So Pyramid Educational Consultants in the United States has highly trained consultants from all over the country. I'm originally from Connecticut, and I worked in the Connecticut Public Schools for many years as a speech pathologist and a special ed administrator. And I then came to Pyramid Educational Consultants, where I do lots of trainings and consultations that you'll hear about as I move on in this little presentation. I currently reside in Florida, so we can live wherever, and we travel wherever we need to go as well, doing the trainings and the consultations. But it's really nice to have people all over the United States that work for the company. We are a team that includes psychologists, behavior analysts, speech language pathologists, special ed teachers. So we come from a variety of backgrounds, which really truly makes us a transdisciplinary team when we're presenting and when we're consulting. Everything we do at Pyramid is based on the pyramid approach to education. It is a way to set up any educational environment, whether you're working in the home, in school, or in the community. I often refer to the pyramid as the foundation for the development of PECS. It's the foundation for, again, a lot of our other talks. It is our blueprint, if you will. Andy Bondi always says that we're not going to come in and build you a pyramid. We're going to give you the blueprints and you're going to build your own pyramid. So with that, he provided us with a visual model of what he was explaining in this pyramid approach to education. So you can see that we have these base components of the pyramid. With any structure, before you can put the top onto the structure, you have to have the base in place. So the base of the pyramid focuses on the why of behavior, the science of learning, what we're teaching. And you can see that there's 4 components here. There are functional activities, powerful reinforcers and reinforcement systems, functional communication, and contextually inappropriate behavior. So we often see some of these contextually inappropriate behaviors in our learners. And the way that we analyze the function of those behaviors is to look at what kind of activity are we presenting to them? What's the reinforcer to keep them in the lesson? Do they have an expressive communication system to ask for things that they want and need, to ask for help, ask for a break, understand a schedule, understand weight, all of those critical communication skills. The top of the pyramid focuses on how we teach. So a very good lesson plan will have these components to it. We're going to look at generalization factors. We want our students to be communicating everywhere, with lots of different people for many, many different items, again, that they want or need. We look at effective lesson formats. How are we going to teach the lesson based on the format? So we're going to need to know what kind of lesson is to know how we teach it. So we do get into a variety of teaching strategies as well. We try to teach with minimal errors, but from time to time, our students will make a mistake. So we apply these different error correction procedure strategies when our students do make a mistake. And then the glue, if you will, or the nails that hold the whole structure together is collecting and analyzing our data. It's very important for us to be making data-driven decisions. So we really want to guide our teaching and guide our practice by collecting the data, analyzing the data to determine if our students had made progress. And if not, we're going to change the way we're teaching the lesson. So this pyramid, I absolutely love it. It really is my structure for any consultation that I do, any presentation that I do, and again, for the development of the picture exchange communication system. Speaking of that, there are 6 phases to PECS. Many of you probably have been trained in PECS that are at this conference. Very, very briefly, we teach one skill at a time. And what you can see here is in phase 1, we're simply teaching our learners how to communicate. When I'm holding something that they are very interested in, they're probably going to grab for it. So what I want to do is teach them a way to communicate for it. So I will put a picture in front of them for the item and teach the student to exchange that picture to get the item that I'm holding. So we're simply teaching how to communicate by exchanging a single picture. Phase 2, we introduce our communication book with only one picture on the front of the book. And we're going to teach our learners to travel to the book, carry the book wherever they go, travel to a communication partner to deliver the message. So there might be a variety of obstacles. You might have to move around certain structures in the classroom where you might have to leave the room and go to another room. So we want our learners to be able to have their voice with them everywhere they go, as we consider that PEC's communication book their voice. That's the way they're expressing their wants and their needs. So they need to be carrying that book with them everywhere that they go. Phase 3, we dive into teaching picture discrimination. We want our students to know each and every one of the pictures in the book. So that could be a challenge for some of our learners, but we have wonderful teaching strategies to teach picture communication. So this is a big phase. We break it down into phase 3A and 3B. Phase 3A, we're going to have our learners, we're going to present our learners with a picture of something they like and a picture of something they don't like. And we're going to determine if they can choose the picture of the preferred item. Once the learner can do that, then we're going to put more than one preferred item on the front of the book. So we're going to move to phase 3B with 2 preferred items. And the way that we determine if the student does know that the picture corresponds with the item is we do a correspondence check. Phase 4, we introduce sentence structure. A single picture alone is not enough information for our communication partners. So if I just gave a picture of a ball, you don't know if I want the ball, I like the ball, I see someone playing with the ball. But when I teach sentence structure, I want the ball, then that's a very specific message for all of you as my communication partners. So we're going to teach sentence structure. Then we teach attributes. I particularly love teaching additional vocabulary, as I'm sure many of you do, because I can't have a picture for every item in this world. So my students are going to be describing what they want by using colors, size, shape, numbers, whatever attribute goes along with that reinforcing picture. Phase 5, we teach our students to answer a requesting question. And then phase 6, we teach our students to answer a commenting question and then spontaneously comment about the world around them. It's a beautiful day. I like playing with the ball. Today is Wednesday. So any of those kinds of comments that need to be made throughout the learner's day, we're going to be teaching that within phase 6 of the PECS protocol. So talking about our popular trainings, we are available in person or live remote. We've been doing a lot a lot of remote consultation and training recently, but our PECS level 1 and 2 trainings are very, very popular. So the level 1 training is going to teach all of the participants how to implement with fidelity all the phases of PECS. You're even going to be able to problem solve. It's a very comprehensive training that now involves an activity packet with a communication plan. So every participant leaves with a very, very sound communication plan to implement PECS with fidelity. Once you've been implementing PECS, we do a level 2 PECS training, which is our PECS review, practice, and problem solving. We talk about increasing the opportunities to use PECS across the day, as well as advanced lessons. We talk about more advanced commenting, attribute lessons. We even get into teaching other parts of speech like pronouns, prepositions, verb tenses. No stopping where we can go with the PECS protocol. This is one of my favorites. Many of our learners are ready to transition away from PECS to speech generating devices. We do a whole nother one-day talk on using the PECS protocol to transition and teach the speech generating device. We also have our own app called the PECS 4 Plus app, which is a standalone communication app that looks very similar to the PECS book. The pyramid approach to education, we reviewed all the 9 components of the pyramid. Well, we do another 2-day talk on just the pyramid approach to education. And as you can see here, the subtitle is Building Functional and Creative Learning Settings. Absolutely love the pyramid. It's a very practical outcome for our learners and really teaches us to be better instructors, no matter what your discipline is. After you've attended a pyramid training, you're going to find that you have some additional teaching strategies under your belt that are very effective for all of our learners. We all deal with challenging behaviors from time to time in our learners. So we also have another one-day talk called A Guide to Managing Challenging Behaviors, where we're going to look at the functions of those behaviors and teach an alternative behavior to replace that challenging behavior that we may be seeing in our learners. We also have some e-learning for everyone. These are pre-recorded trainings through our online learning portal. The best part about these pre-recorded training sessions is you can view them at your convenience. There's one on teaching critical communication skills. I pulled a few out. We teach our learners to ask for help. We teach our learners to ask for a break. We teach our learners to understand weight. We're obviously going to be using visuals for all of those, as I just showed you. These are critical communication skills that are going to lead to greater independence in our students. So this is a one-day talk live, but it's also, as I said, part of our online learning portal. It's about 6.5 hours, and it's really nice because if you have 2 hours, you can begin to do the training and then you can come back to it. You don't have to sit there, for the whole time to complete the course. So lots of very practical information and videos that go along with that training. We do another one called the language of emotions. Many times I'm asked, I need him to tell me when he's sad or he's hurt or he's mad. Emotions and expressing our emotions is a difficult skill for a lot of us. And developing those emotions and how we develop them and how someone labels them for us is part of the whole acquisition of those emotions. So Andy Bondi does a great job on talking about how we all learned what happy, sad, mad means, and then how to teach it effectively in our learners. So that's again, these are 1 day, 6.5 hour talks on these particular topics. We do another one on ethical collaboration and augmentative and alternative communication. We particularly target the speech language pathologist and the behavior analyst collaboration. Sometimes these 2 different groups are looking at the acquisition of language and teaching language and communication a little differently. So we are using the best of both worlds. We have information from both professionals and we bring that together and give you some strategies on collaboration. and doing it in a way that's going to benefit our learners. We also have developed a short talk series. These short talks are about 2 to 3 hours in length, and they're just a single presentation, but you can combine them with other short talks. In fact, this week for a client, I'm doing a couple of these short talks over an afternoon for them. So one of our short talks is the pyramid approach to teleservices. So given the current situation that we're in this past year with the pandemic, a lot of us are doing remote learning, remote consultation, remote services. We're calling it teleservices. So we're helping professionals, caregivers, parents to provide effective learning through teleservices. And we're using the pyramid approach foundation again, framework, blueprint, if you will, to be able to provide effective services in the home. There's another one on how to prompt our students, how to error correct, how to teach more effectively that will lead to greater independence. Andy Bondi has created that one. It's a fantastic talk when we're looking at what rituals do we have, and all learners don't learn the same way. So we really want to look at what would be best for each individual. The talk that I just mentioned about ethics and AAC, there's also one just for behavior analysts, and it's providing CEUs for the behavior analysts who need an ethics course and an ethics CEU. So this is this course, this short talk will provide you with the ethics CEU that you need for the BACB board. So any BCBAs, that would be nice because that is a requirement for your certification. We have another short talk on how to say no and live to tell about it. A lot of times people think that when our learners are using the picture exchange communication system and they give you a picture of the trampoline at the most inopportune time, that you need to immediately honor that request, and you do not. So that's a good thing. So we have a lot of different strategies in this talk about how to say no, because our learners need to be able to accept a no, because we're all going to be hearing that at some point in our lives. So nice strategies with that short talk. And then we have another one that using the pyramid approach, again, a simple guide to teaching at home. So we're helping parents and caregivers and professionals who are doing teleservices to provide some very effective home strategies using everyday activities and routines that are happening in the home and materials that are right in the home. So not a lot of extra work on the part of the parents and the caregivers, but to really, continue that teaching and learning process while we are safe at home. We also can tailor anything that you need. So any kinds of topics that are relevant to your specific needs and your staff and your caregivers, I'm going to give you our contact information at the end, but you just let us know what you need, and we can tailor whatever you need and create a talk or consultation for you. All right, different conferences that we are providing. We in November did a functional communication conference. We focused on communication. It was 2 days, 4 hours. We focused the first day on communication in schools and the second day on communication and behavior. We are also doing a functional behavior conference. It's coming up very shortly. I'll give you the dates. The first day is going to be behavior analysis and communication. The second day is going to address behavior analysis and program development. So that's happening on April 26th and 27th. Autism Awareness Month is the month of April, so it's very timely to be presenting a behavior conference. The Functional Communication Conference was originally presented in November, as I said, of 2020. We were very excited to be able to present it to a school district in South Carolina this January, and we are planning another one in November of this year, so that the dates will be to be determined. But again, we'll focus on very practical information that is necessary for all of you who work in the school setting or in the home or out in the community. Continuing education units, we all need to be certified. A lot of our credentialing agencies require us to get continuing education units. All of our trainings are presented by people who are recognized as experts in the field. So you're getting training from seasoned speech language pathologists, behavior analysts, special ed teachers, as we mentioned earlier. Any training that you come to at Pyramid, you will all receive a formal certificate of attendance with the contact hours. So you can submit it to your state or national agencies, governing boards that you need to. Many of our trainings are approved by the American Speech Language Hearing Association for speech language pathologists and the BCBA board, BACB CEUs for the behavior analysts. So that's always a nice extra, is that we are approved providers for those two agencies and we submit your CEUs for you. If you need any other information about state or other organizations, we're in the process of applying to be approved providers for different states and other disciplines. We also have a products division. I mentioned the communication books earlier. Our materials are made from high quality polyvinyl, so kind of indestructible with, you know, the way our learners are moving around in different environments. We have not just communication books, but we have token cards, as I showed you with the help and the break and the weight cards. Those are all made out of that heavy polyvinyl as well, and long lasting. Very proud of this picture and what Pyramid does. These are two individuals with developmental disabilities, and they work in our products division. You can see they're working to put products together. They box them, they get them ready to ship out. So we're very excited about the work that they're doing and our ability to employ people with special needs and to give them the opportunity to be working members of society. We also have a lot of free resources for you. We have a funding resources page. You can see that link here on the left, where you can look and see where a lot of times there's grants where you can buy communication books or go to a training. So please check that out. We've done a lot of work on helping people get some funding if it's, you know, if you're in, if there's limited funding where you are. We have a support at home page. We, at the start of this pandemic, did lesson plans, picture grids for those using PECs, videos of lessons that you can teach at home that will address your IEP objectives. In the lesson plan format, we take a look at not only addressing communication goals, but addressing academic goals. We're looking at social interaction, every domain of the IEP. So the lesson plan format is very comprehensive, and lots of different examples of lessons that are really fun to do. I did one on making puffy sidewalk chalk, and it was a lot of fun. Andy Bondi and Lori Frost wrote a book called Autism 24/7, and it was you can see here, a family guide to learning at home and in the community. They have offered this book free to everyone. It is on our website as well, and it's broken down by chapter. So you can just download a chapter, open up a chapter and read it on a particular topic. So that's available on our website as well. Some of our in-person and remote consultation services are our PECS Startup and our PECS Checkup. A lot of times after people have been to training, they ask me to come in and help get a student up and running on PECS using the protocol with Fidelity. Or I might go in and do a PECS checkup. The team has hit a little bit of a roadblock, so we come in and we help problem solve around there. We have some caregiver support packages with little 30-minute snippets on a particular topic that might be interesting and needed for different caregivers in the home. So we have a 20-minute, 30-minute video on just how to teach help. We have another one on how to teach break. So little smaller versions of the big picture. We do individual student consultation. We do classroom and program consultation. So I go in, I was just in a school district last week. I live in Florida now. I'm not sure I mentioned that earlier. And I went into a school district and did just a classroom consultation. We also do live remote consultations. There's many times when people have said to me, I wish you could be in my ear while I'm teaching. Well, we can. So we can set up a time when it's good for the professional, for us to be watching exactly what's happening at that particular time, and then we can give feedback. So we can do that in 30-minute increments, or as long as a professional, needs us for. I'm very proud of this one, and I'm very happy that the Kelberman Center is partnering with the Herkimer BOCES to provide this autism awareness conference, because I am certifying 6 preschool classrooms at the Kelberman Center. So this is called our pyramid classroom certification process. So what it does is it combines our very comprehensive trainings across the year. So I give 5 days of training to the staff, and then I come in every month and I focus on one portion of the pyramid. So if you remember, it has 9 components, and I focus on one portion of the pyramid, and I support the teams in building a more effective educational environment. Tony Ann Johns, the director of the Kelberman Center, the Promise Preschool at the Kelberman Center, she is part of this whole planning group, and she has graciously invited anyone that wants to see the pyramid in action to just contact her, and she can take you on a little tour of what we have done in terms of pyramid certified classrooms. In addition, once the classrooms have achieved pyramid certification, typically in the first year it's a year process, then for the second year, we identify on-site leaders to start taking over and doing the training, doing the consultation. So we're in the process of doing that too. And I'm very excited about that. We have 2 very highly trained teachers that are being trained as leaders at the Kelberman Center. So please contact Tony Ann if you want more information about that. So one last thing before I end my time with you, and I thank you for your time, is to stay connected with us. You can see our links with Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We have a PECS user support group on Facebook as well, and you will see all of that with these links here. You can feel free to contact me. My email address is jmatteo@pecs.com. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions about consultation, about how to get a training up and running. I just have a passion for teaching communication, and I love what PECS and the pyramid approach has done for our students. They're both research-based. The PECS protocol is evidence-based. There is a ton of research on the effectiveness of teaching communication to our students via picture exchange, and also setting up any educational environment using the pyramid approach to education. I applaud your work with all of our students on the autism spectrum. They're lucky to have you. And please reach out if you need any more information on anything that we do at Pyramid Educational Consultants. I appreciate your time. Enjoy your conference.